Hey guys, welcome to another video. This is part 3 of Baghead's Gundam Adventure, where I talk about every Gundam show I watch, what my experience, how do I feel about it. I split into segments such as thematics, characters, aesthetics, and of course closing remarks. And I sometimes might add extra segments, but it's not in this video. Um, Today I will talk about the Mobile Suit Gundam Double Zeta. This comes right after Zeta Gundam, and of course, this video will have minor to major spoilers. Like, I usually do try to not spoil the entire show, so I leave some stuff out of the video, but I will still talk about certain spoilers to talk about which scenes or which arcs piqued my interest the most in the series. So, uh, that out of the way, let's get on to it. So, before I go to the classic thematics, the characters and stuff, I want to talk about something important about Double Zeta. There's something that makes Double Zeta really unique. That is, it's a half and half. Both the community and friends in Discord told me that apparently, the creator of Gundam, Tomino, was trying to get the second half of the show and Charge Counterattack be approved by Bandai. So it was uncertain if this thing was gonna continue or the Gundam as a IP was gonna continue. So because of that, the first half of Double Zeta is more like your average Mega XLR episode. If you don't know Mega XLR, that's a Cartoon Network show. It's like funny, comedic, slightly serious adventures. Like there's comedy and serious. Like it's a drama with mostly comedy leaning drama happening in the first half, like first 23 to 25 episodes of Double Zeta. Like you see that serious tone slightly lingering around the first half, but it's mostly just funny stuff. Like, oh, characters steal a Gundam. They are junkyard traders. They want to sell the Gundam, and suddenly our main character is shadow boxing with a mobile suit against another mobile suit. Like it's like watching Real Steel in 1980s. Like, or the characters have more comedic or more even more cartoonish exaggerated facial emotion features or like facial expressions, and the comedy is amped up to 11, notably different than your average Gundam experience, like especially compared to Zeta. Zeta Gundam, if you watch the previous video I made, is one of the most depressing and dark entry of Gundam, and watching Double Zeta right after it feels like a whiplash because sometimes suddenly the tone is shifted really heavily. Suddenly I'm watching something really funny, comedic after experiencing hell on earth. But after that first half, it immediately pulls you back in that this is a Gundam show, and now you're watching Zeta season 2. Like Double Zeta's second half is literally Zeta season 2. Like it's back to being that dark Gundam that is serious, and war is bad, children in war, casualties, colony drops, war crimes, like all that happens the moment that second half starts. And the way they do that is actually really good as well. Like the way that it suddenly reminds you it's a Gundam show is really good. Because you're like, oh, it's gonna be another comedic scene, then boom, that the serious tone suddenly grabs you by the throat. Like it's really well made that how they like that it's probably like it got approved and Tomina was like, okay, we have to make it serious again. So we have to make it a Gundam show again. And they did it one of the best ways ever. So, thematics are the same. First half, comedy, but still war is bad. Second half is your regular Gundam thematics. War is bad, children's of war, wounds of war, casualties, war crimes, yada yada, all that hustle. This time our main character is Judao Ashita. He has a gang. Actually, this time I think Double Zeta Gundam has the most protagonist like characters. Like the first gang you meet, they all feel like main characters. Like they don't have that side character energy at all, like the White Base crew or the Argama crew. Like all of that main gang, that Judao, Bicha, Mondo, Amy, I forgot the girl's name. Belle, I believe. Her name is Belle, and Ruka. Like, they all feel like main characters. None of them have that side character energy. And then when you go past that first stealth, the things pick up faster. And yeah, I like how the gang is bigger this time. Like, it has more depth to it. I really like that. And it starts again with your classic a main character steals a Gundam. Bright Noah, our father to many new types, notices this. They let Judao steal the Gundam a bit because eventually Judao ends up helping the Argama team fighting against the Neo Zeon. They were Axis and Zeta, but now they go by Neo Zeon, I believe. And from that, it just all of the other stuff in Double Zeta happens. Judao starts helping the Argama more. He joins the good guys. I mean, if you can't even say, like, Double Zeta, I want to say this really quick. Like, Double Zeta punctuates the fact that there are no good guys in Gundam. Again, once again, if Zeta didn't, or 79 Gundam didn't already. Like, yep, even though Earth Federation and AUG is trying to fight for peaceful times, they're still really not that good people. Axis Neozeon is compared to Titans is slightly less evil because Titans were really comedically villainous and Neozeon seems fine. They just have like more Winter Soldier Cyber New types this time, and they also still do colony drops and so many your usual war crimes. And the other side, AUG and Earth Federation. Earth Federation feels like they didn't even do anything. Like I genuinely wonder, like, maybe I should rewatch this Double Zeta because I wonder if Earth Federation even did anything like these guys. This Brazil looking map right there is the Earth Federation. Like, did they even do anything? Like, they helped a little, but yeah. AUG kinda helps because I'm pretty sure connected to AUG and the Earth Federation is Lavia and Rose helps our main gang. Argama gets damaged beyond repair, so they gave them a better ship called the Nahal Argama. Nahal Argama is basically Argama but better, cooler, and I think that's all that Ayuk does. I mean, there's also, Hayato and his ground forces in Earth, but I'm pretty sure that was another faction called Karaba. Karaba is like a rebellion faction that's uh, allied with AUG and Earth Federation, but again, like, even Karaba does more than these two guys right here. Uh, I also put the peak arc right here in Clone Wars. So Clone Wars is basically there's cloning involved this time. Like, there's always memes in Gundam like char clones. I think that like this is play clones. We have a new cyber new type called play, and play apparently has a bajillion clones, and we only see one of these clones so far, which is play 2. Considering Neozeon always uses stuff that like, they never get run out of stuff. We will probably see this play clones more in the future shows. Like, I didn't watch them yet. I'm expecting maybe in Unicorn or Narrative or maybe in Hathaway these play clones will probably appear. I can't wait to see them. And yeah, the cyber new type stuff increases because Neo Zeon actually has internal conflict with each other. At one side, we have Haman Khan and the Minerva Zabi stuff, like I will revive the Zabi family stuff. And Haman Khan actually downs this new outfit that makes her look like an empress. Like I think it's like a commander outfit, but I didn't see other Zabi or like Xeon officers wear stuff like this, but sure, I guess. It might be some royalty commander outfit type stuff. I'm not gonna question it. She looks cool. The other side is Glemmy. Glemmy, aka Glemmy, I'm not a simp for Ruluka Toto. Yes, his surname's Toto, Glemmy Toto, is the cyber new type guy. He developed many cyber new types. He shared his labs with Haman Khan, so Haman Khan could gain some cyber new types. And he is also behind the cloning plot. He cloned Play many times, and he believes this will be the great way to beat Haman Khan and gain the full control of Xeon, so he becomes the strongest there is, and blah blah blah. I'm gonna be the biggest villain type stuff. Like it's like a bigger fish type of battle. Like who's gonna be the new leader of Xeon? While all this happens, surprisingly, Char and Amuro isn't in this. Probably because the thing I mentioned before, the approval of Char's counterattack and the double Zeta, so they probably didn't have time to add a Char and Amuro. So I'm gonna see how that plays out in Char's counterattack. There's also this peak arc right there. The reason I put this is Double Zeta has many arcs, such as any other Gundam show. But man, this time like it really got my attention because okay, Zeta Gundam had Neo Tokyo and Kilimanjaro arcs, and of course the space arcs and Earth arcs. But Double Zeta had a desert arc, and that desert arc had some of the coolest side character and side plot lines. I actually really loved it. I'm gonna mention more in the aesthetics and like characters probably, but maybe not in characters, but in aesthetics. But this desert arc is really cool. You meet like these. I believe they are Xeon. Yeah, they are like Xeon Remnant or Xeon affiliated groups that they are called like the Red Team and Blue Team, which kind of made my like neurodivergency brain flare up because like oh my god, Team Fortress 2, Red versus Blue in Gundam, even though Gundam is older than both of them. It was fun to see that red and blue colored mobiles is just going at each other, even though they are both Xeon. And yes, the timeline is UC 88, right after Grip's conflict. And yes, Judo does meet Camille. Camille is in this anime, though his screen time is minimal, but he still has great importance, which I will mention in characters. So that's thematics. Half comedy, half Gundam show, war is bad, no good guys, but this time you get to laugh a little bit more. Anyways, let's get on to it. So, in Zeta Gundam, I did say every character felt like reading a book. Every character had insane amount of depth to them. Every character had insane amount of arcs to them. We should have seen their growth, change, and their decisions in their life and their past, yada yada, really detailed. Double Zeta doesn't do it that hard. It's more like 1979 OG Gundam. Like characters still have depth, characters still have arc, but it's like a lighter tone. Like we don't go into like the DNA of the character. Like we don't go that deep, but we still see characters change and grow and see their obsession, see their decisions and their consequences on characters, how the character deaths affect other characters. And for Double Zeta, there's some differences as well because most of that depth kind of starts to appear in the other half, obviously. In the first half, it's mostly there's some character growth, but the comedy is kind of heavier on it. So, like, we see that we still see that Judao, Ashta are funny ladies' man. Probably the best protagonist is Gundam. He's like a scrapyard kid with his gang with Bichamondo, Leo. He has a sister and the girl of the gang and Ruluka, and they all want to sell the Gundam, so they steal the Gundam. We then slowly see that Judo first doesn't want to help the Ayuk, but his sister tries to um, convince him that he should help the Federation. And slowly Judo grows and grows and like, okay, I'm gonna help the Federation. And his friends join him as well. Now, Bicha and Mondo are kind of like really annoying characters in the most of the first half and the second half because like I mean Mondo is fine. He gets his arc in the second half where he becomes more serious. But Beecha is such an interesting kid. Like he tries to sabotage Argama crew a lot of times. Like he is like gives signals to Xeon to get the ship captured so they can join Xeon and get some quick buck out of it. And they do join Xeon at some point, but when they see that doesn't work out, they join back Federation and they promise to never sabotage again. Then Mondo has his arc where he loses someone really precious to him, and Mondo is that like this black bowl cut kid with the medallion necklace. Like he gets his arc, he becomes serious. Beecha, I don't know. Beecha becomes like the captain of Nahal Argama as well, like a secondary captain with Bright Noah, or like a solo captain as well. And he just slowly becomes more serious, but he still has that immature tone to him. I mean, yes, he's a kid. Obviously, he will be immature, but it seems like Beecha never gets that arc where he fully redeems himself. Now, I don't know if that's a good thing, bad thing. Like, is it bad writing? No, maybe that's somewhat like a new thing because in Gundam usually every character has their arc of change, and Beecha doesn't change that much. He just becomes more responsible. He just shows like he cares a lot about the people he loves in near the end of the show, and that's the most change he gets. But most of the time, he's still immature. He's still impulsive. He still has his flaws, and unlike the most other characters you see in anime, he doesn't change that much. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe not. Maybe it's like a show. Maybe the show tells us like not everyone changes that fast or that deeply. So Beecha and Mondo are like cool characters, but Beecha sometimes feels like unredeemable or irredeemable. Judah was peak protagonist as I mentioned. Then we have other characters in the gang. We have Io, the tall kid right there. I think he's the side character of the gang, like Belle, because Belle is the female lead, like Ruluka, like she's at the right side, at most right is Ruluka. Ruluka and Belle are basically the female leads. You mostly see them in mobile suit fights. They do have characterization, they do have their own moments, but mostly are female leads in battles. That's what I noticed from them. Leo is mostly support character. Like he's like a moral support, a moral anchor of the team. And Judao's sister is mostly she gets kidnapped. That's an entire arc by itself, and that does happen in the comedy arc as well, by the way. So like I like how even though the first half is comedy, there's still that lingering Gundam aura, that serious tone. So that's quite neat to see. Like even though they go full comedy, it's not like it's still a Gundam show. The sister also plays an important role in Judao's own improvement. He's like every other protagonist, but what makes Judao different is like he's a fighter. Like Amuro, he's naive. He then gets serious. Camille is always naive. He's raw emotion. Judao is like he's more serious. He's a ladies' man, and I have to mention it every time because it's just funny. It's a funny moment in the anime, and he matures really fast. He doesn't even need to. He doesn't get beat up to mature, anyways. Like he says, like, "Yep, this is war. I'm gonna do help," and he's also one of the strong new types as well. So that's what makes Judo different than the other two protagonists, like Amuro and uh, Camille. Like he isn't that naive. I think it's probably because he's a streets kid. Like he's a junkyard dweller. He's a junkyard seller. He doesn't go to school. He's a rebel. He will always fight back. He will always throw hands. So I guess that's what makes Judo more different than Amuro and Camille. He is already toughened up, a hardened person, even though he's still again really young. He's like I think he's either 15, I believe, in the show. So again, the child soldier thing returns. Oh yeah, Bright Noah is also in this. And for some reason, with Bright Noah, there's this overarching story where it is captain of Lavia and Rose, like the woman captain, always trying to flirt with Bright, but Bright is like, I have a wife and child at Earth. No. So like I think Bright almost falls, but then he remembers, yes, he does have a family, he does have a wife, so he keeps loyal. He's still the proud father, and he's still always also a proud father of many new types. Now Judo, and the gang as well. Bright Noy is cool. I don't think he is that majorly in Double Zeta. Like he's still there, but I don't think he was that big in Double Zeta as much as he was in Zeta and Gundam 79. If I want to talk about other characters, I want to talk about all the pictures to be honest. So, Haman Karn, incredible antagonist, incredible final antagonist that's in Double Zeta. Don't want to tell much about her because I don't want to spoil much. But yeah, overarching, she's really cool. Yazan is in Double Zeta. He's in the first half. Yes, he survived Zeta. It was shown in the show. He had an escape pod, and Judah finds him. Surprisingly, that's how the anime starts. Actually, he is mostly shown as a bum. He tries to get out of Shangri-La, the first big colony, but I think he's just stuck there. We don't know what happens to him after he's like stuck in that colony. I'm just gonna believe he's still there. He's a bomb. Maybe one day he gets out of it. Who knows? Like Yazan's story arc ends in the first few episodes. He's even fun. He is really funny in this. He's just a bomb. He's keep trying to get back to Zion, and he fails every time. Seeing him suffer is kind of funny to see, and I'm glad his parts were in the comedic part because not gonna lie, seeing Yazan fail and fail again to get a mobile suit and go back to his um, Zion comrades, it's fun to see. From the comedy and the serious side, this guy is also really fun. This guy was really fun to watch. He is Mashimir Selo, aka Mashimir Sama, by his sidekick Goton. He is a cyber new type that is extremely loyal to Haman Karn, to the point where you see that rose there in his mouth. That rose was given to him by Haman Khan, and he always carries that around, and he doesn't let anything happen to that rose, even mobile suit battles. For the first elf, he's the main. He's like the main rival in the comedic part of the Double Zeta. He's always against Judo. They always have the most funniest fights against each other. And in the second half, he's this even more serious, even more loyal, and overtuned cyber new type. And in the second half, he's just a massive simp. Like second half, Mashimir is fine, but I low-key prefer the comedy half Mashimir more. So that's all I will say about him without spoiling much. He's a fun character to watch. I really enjoyed his character. There is of course the redeemed cyber new type, and I really like this because in Zeta Gundam, Camille felt Camille felt like Titan blood, like he wanted to turn four or the other cyber new type. I think I forget her name. There was another girl that was a cyber new type. Camille always tried to redeem cyber new types. He tried to make them good guys and make them get out of this bad faction that used them as weapons. And Camille always failed to do so. But Judao doesn't. Judao actually manages to make a cyber new type into a good person, which is with Alpeo Play right here. Alpeo Play is a cyber new type that pilots the Cubile MK2, and Judao actually makes her a good guy. She joins the main gang. She helps the main gang in their adventures, even though sometimes she was a headache for them. And she also is the second sister of Judah. Like that's her role in the show. Like she always wants to have like a big brother, and she sees Judah as a big brother. And while Judah's main sister was kidnapped and gone, she kind of fills that role, I guess. And El Pro Play does have more heroic moments in the second half, which really got my interest and piqued my interest because it is done really well. We see the cyber new type being used as a weapon, redeemed herself, and sacrificed herself for the good benefit of the main cast. Like not benefit, like for the good of the main cast, helping them. Like she's no longer a brainless weapon; she is a human being. It was a nice arc. I liked her entire character arc, her entire development, just like Judo and the other characters, most of the other characters. And yeah, she was overall really cool. Then we have Goton here. Goton was the sidekick of Mashimir Sella. He was amazing in the comedic side and in the serious side. Yeah, I think he is one of the crucial parts of the Double Zeta Gundam Double Zeta Gundam's turning point. Like every every show has a turning point, and Double Zeta has one where it turns into it's like a reminder to you you're watching a Gundam show and things will get dark and serious. Goton plays a huge role in that turning point of this is a Gundam show and things are serious. And I like the way they did that with Goton's episode of I think it was a two-parter. It was someone's cries, someone's tears. It was about the side character and Goton relationship, like they're helping each other and stuff like that, but I don't want to spoil that much. But yeah, that two-parter episode is the turning point of Double Zeta becoming less comedic and becoming more serious. Then we have Karasun. Karasun is another Axis Neo Zeon Cyber new type. She was in Haman Karn's side. She's not Glemmy's side. She's Haman Karn's personal bodyguard. She works with Mashimiya Selo, and she is an interesting character. She does possess the features of cyber new types. She acts and behaves differently outside and inside of battle, and the way they executed for her is really interesting. And she was an incredible character throughout the Double Zeta through the both halves of the show, and she piloted one of the coolest looking mobile suits in my opinion. One of them being R Jarja. R Jarja, I'm gonna show a picture of it in the aesthetic section, is a modified version of the Gian. Gian was piloted by McQueeve in 79's show. It's a really cool suit. Then we have Gulemi Toto, the simp of Ruluka. Ruluka is that purple-haired woman right there. He is the Clone Wars guy. He can't play, and he just wants to get to power. He is the main rival of. I mean, not the main rival. He's like another big rival of Judo in the second half. And yeah, Judo has a bunch of rivals. In the first half, we have Mashimir Selo being the rival of Judo. Then we have Gulemi Toto being a rival of Judo by kidnapping his sister. And then the big rival, the big main antagonist rival is the Haman Khan. And Glamitoto is also a cool character. But like I said, the character development for some side characters is kind of lighter here, probably because that comedic side kind of like hindered it. Like there was still development, but it wasn't as deep as Zeta, or maybe as deep as Gundam as well. The 79's Gundam. Is that a big critic? No, it just like makes the show more unique, and I really enjoyed Double Zeta. So Glimitoto himself is a cool rival, cool villain. Like even though he, even though the character development for him wasn't that deep, he was still nice to watch. There's also the side characters. These are the three. They were like the Tri Rose Attack or something. They were in the comedic part, so they were really funny. They were basically a budget Black Tri-Star for Judo to fight, and they just existed. Like they're Jesus, man. So overall, yes, character development, character arcs are done well in Double Zeta. Maybe less than Zeta, maybe even lesser than Gundam 79, but it was still there, and I still think the creator of Gundam and every person in the team were putting their high efforts to give some sort of character depth to every character you see. So I can see the effort, and I am really satisfied with the characterization of every side main rival background character we see in Double Zeta. So even though it was like it was probably had less character development than other two shows. I still think it had a unique charm to itself with the developments, with the characterization. So I'm not that mad. Like it was good. The characterization of all of these individuals was nice. And to be honest, most of the characters had really unique features to them, so that's also a plus. Like I liked it a lot. All right, on to the next segment. All right, so I gotta say, aesthetics of Double Zeta Gundam are incredible. The animation is, of course, even more amazing because it's like right after Zeta, so I'm pretty sure it was done in the same time era. So the animation is, of course, beautiful. And usually in Gundam shows, we see a bunch of areas like, oh, we're in space now, we're in Earth now, we're now in this colony. I think Double Zeta does that aspect better because this show has bunch of arcs. Like, okay, we are in Shangri-La now, the first big space colony, and then we are in Earth. We are now in um, Asia Chinese themed colony, which has their own sort of city and temple and mobile suit designs. And then now we are in an abandoned space colony called Moon, which has a cult and their own cultist leaders and mobile suits. And now we are in Anaheim Electronics main base. Now we are in a different bay and a different space base, different like arm buildings, different fronts, different Zionic laboratories. So I gotta say, aesthetics wise, the locations were really like versatile, like really There were a bunch of variety, rarity, rarity. There was many variations of like locations, and it was incredible. Like one of them was the desert. Yeah, not the desert, the desert. Like I want to talk about the desert arc so much because like you see side characters pulling up with mobile suits to judo. You then see the Xeon affiliated red and blue teams trying to attack judo, or they even fight among each other. And we see red versus blue. And we see these characters' own stories and their own actions. How they. Okay, I kind of I kind of ramble too much here. So the desert arc is probably the best arc in Double Zeta because they have their own unique characters, their own unique factions, and they did such a well job executing like these factions and how their own relationships in this desert area happens, like how things work here. And it was also introduction of a Muslim area as well. So that was also really interesting to see. And I think one thing I forgot to mention in characterization is, yeah, like I said, characters' decisions, losses, sacrifices, and how they affect other characters. Yes, this happens constantly come in the different war scenes as well. We also see that even the in the desert arc, even the red versus blue guy dying affects some of the Xeon soldiers. Main commander Glenn Toto, an example, gets affected by the determination of the blue team's leader. I forgot his name. I remember the red team's leader. His name is Desert Rommel, which is a really funny name. Um. Anyways, I'm going too much into character stuff. Back at the aesthetics. Now, of course, Xeon has its bajillion suits again. Really nice designs from Xeon. The Zeta is still here. The Gundam Mark II still is in Double Zeta as well, and Hyakushiki appears as well, which is nice to see. And seeing MK2 in Double Zeta was so cool because like that suit lived through so much stuff and it was still like in one piece. It genuinely surprised me seeing it survive that long. Zeta itself was also cool to see. Like yeah, the legacy moves on, and of course the Double Zeta itself is an amazing mobile suit. It has the gimmick of combination, which was in Zeta Gundam with the Super Gundam, which was the combination of Mark II and um, Jet. I think Jet Fighter, G Fighter, or something like that. But in Double Zeta, we see that combination in a much like better way, because like, oh, three different core fighters combine into this gigantic mobile suit called the Double Zeta, which reminiscent of that G Armor and Gundam combination transformation stuff we see in the 79th show, which was nice to see. I like that these three plane jets combine into one really strong mobile suit. And man, is Double Zeta a strong mobile suit. It's like One Punch Man. The other mobile suits struggle until the Double Zeta comes in and just destroys everything in its path, and it has like Hyper Mega Launcher in its forehead. It just one shots armies and stuff. So yeah, Double Zeta itself is an amazing suit. The battle scenes again are incredible. Even in the comedy health, there's like this fight between Zeta and Geze. And yes, that's the name of that suit. It's right here in the audible section. Man, I love this goofy suit so much. Geze is such a funny junkyard suit. Even in the, like I said, even in the comedic side, we see this fight between Zeta and Geze. Even though it was a goofy fight, it was still fun to watch. Like, it was well animated and well choreographed, so not much to complain about that. There were even more funnel suites, such as this Queen Manta right here, Cubele. There were even mass-produced Cubeles we see near the end, and we see more of that aura fights. If you don't know what I mean, in Zeta Gundam, Hamankan and Optimus Choco had that aura stuff going around them, like biosensor. There's even more of that in Double Zeta. In the second half, man, they are like visual fest when it comes to those scenes. And besides the mobile suit and war effects and the locations, each character has their own look, and again, you can tell which side is which by the look, and that the visual language is really well done. And that's all I want to say about the aesthetics. Everything is good. There's not much to criticize. Oh, there was no reuse animation in this, by the way, in the Double Zeta, and I really like that. I mean, it wasn't a big critic of me, but like you will notice there were reuse of some animations. In Double Zeta, it is so minor. At that point, you just don't even notice it. It's maybe like one or two scenes in the entire 50 episodes shows. Like it's the all animations are unique. There's no reuse, and yeah, I just loved it. The aesthetics are incredible in Double Zeta. Combination scenes, beam saber clashes, mega particle beams, mega particle beams that shot out of like colonies or like ships, explosions, the biosense and new type auras, new type abilities. All of those were mm, aesthetic as a 10 out of 10. And amazing mobile suit designs. Yep, let me look at those. They look amazing. So, to the next segment then. So, what can I say about Double Zeta? It was a unique but an amazing journey. The first half made me laugh, the second half made me cry. There were a bunch of interesting characterizations. I've seen characters being really goofy to being really serious, instant character growths happening out of nowhere, certain characters disappearing for a few episodes then returning really differently, incredible effects and aesthetics of mobile suit design, war design, location, artistry. It's just like the characters didn't disappoint me either, even though, like I said, it's a 50-50 show. Like each side, both sides were done well. The comedy side was done well, and the serious side was done well as well. It never bored me. Maybe a little when it was in the comedy side, I was like, "Is it gonna be like this forever?" But I don't think it bored me that much to hate the show. So I think Double Zeta is a unique gem, and I suggest it to everyone who finished Zeta if they're going by the order. I say never skip it. Never skip Double Zeta. I say this is an amazing opportunity for a breathing room after experiencing the dark, depressing tone of Zeta. You have a breathing room, then it returns back to being that serious Gundam show. So Double Zeta, in my opinion, is a mandatory show you should watch after Zeta, and you should never skip it. It is well done. It is extremely unique. It's a tonal roller coaster, and I really adore it. So that's all for Double Zeta from me. I give it a 9 out of 10, and I suggest this. Please never skip Zeta. I'm gonna say this again and again. Never skip Double Zeta. Um, Also, I gotta say, this show probably had one of the funniest intros. Because Zeta intro was great. Double Zeta intro is just funny. It's certainly something. And yeah, I guess that's it. Next episode will probably be coming really sooner than you expect. It's Charles Counterattack. It's a 2 hour long movie, which is interesting because I prefer shows when it comes to Gundam because like it develops the character faster. You kind of get the idea of like, okay, well, this is his goals, this is his past, this will be his future, this is what happens to him, and how he grows throughout the show. But since Char's counterattack will have Char and Amuro, it's probably gonna have already established characters. That's what I'm hoping. Like we will probably see characters from Zeta and Double Zeta appear, and we will see continuation of already existing plot lines, maybe more play clones, who knows? More cyber new types, whatever left of Neo Zeon, what Char was doing. Maybe they gonna reveal what Char was doing during Double Zeta and what Armor was doing, and we see like a what's the climax is about this Char's counterattack. So like, I have great hopes for this movie. I hope it builds upon the established lore, and I can't wait to see you guys in that video. Well, that was all from Baghead in Double Zeta. What an incredible tonal roller coaster. See you guys next time.